Catherine, this turkey tastes half as good as it looks. I think we're all in for a very big treat.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Okay, Eddie.
Sorry.
Why are you crying? Huh?
I told you we put it in too early.
Oh, it's just a little dry. It's fine.
I told you.
This is Chris. Welcome to the GYATT Fortnite podcast, where Juice WRLD is undoubtedly the sweat skin of 2024, hands down. R.I.P. Juice. Technically, someone else might already have a Fortnite podcast, but in the spirit of Fortnite, I'm capturing as many clips of this season as possible. Many memories to close out this chapter. Party hips with Ice Spice, anyone? Anyone? We have Big Hero 6, Godzilla. We have Hope with a new Hope skin. She made it to the next island. But is that a I.O. insignia on her shirt? We have Jonesy taking a back seat in all of this promotional art. Where is he? And we still have Demon Slayer, and unnamed anime and Japanese-inspired skins coming this season. Wasabi is just chapter 6. Take my money. There's just so much new information that I am going to try to avoid to the end event with Juice WRLD. This tribute to Juice WRLD as a fan of hip-hop and rap, epic. You really did it. And let's dive in. Over the years, Fortnite has evolved from its modest beginnings in Chapter 1 into a cultural juggernaut, spanning diverse gameplay experiences, gripping storylines, and a thriving community. As Chapter 5 Season 4 finishes, and while we get into this OG right now, it's worth looking back at what has made Fortnite so impactful and identifying traditions that should remain integral to its culture. Here are 5 Fortnite traditions spanning gameplay, story, and the broader Fortnite culture that deserve to endure, no matter how silly or understated their significance may seem. One of Fortnite's most iconic traditions is its seasonal live events. From the end of Chapter 1, Black Hole, to the Galactus planet-sized arrival, these events have become much-watched moments for the community. They don't just mark the passage of seasons. They create unforgettable shared experiences. The real-time interactivity, whether battling monsters, escaping zero-gravity mazes, or simply watching meteors destroy parts of the map, cements Fortnite as more than just a game. The beauty of these events lie in their unpredictability. players log in not just to see what happens, but to feel like part of the story. This tradition fosters community, builds anticipation, and keeps Fortnite's narrative engaging. Epic should preserve this legacy by pushing the boundaries of what live events can achieve. Future traditions could even include player-driven outcomes, offering a sense of agency while maintaining the spectacle. Now, Fortnite emotes have become a tradition in their own right, representing everything from dance trends to iconic pop culture moments. Whether it's doing the floss, recreating TikTok moves, or seeing Goku and Naruto vibing to the Rickroll emote, Fortnite uses these emotes to break the fourth wall and lean into its goofy, self-aware charm. Similarly, its collabs with major franchises like Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and even musicians like Travis Scott reflect a unique tradition of blending virtual worlds with real-world phenomena. This synergy isn't just about selling skins or cosmetics. It's about bringing diverse audiences together to celebrate shared cultural moments. Fortnite should continue this playful and accessible tradition. It adds levity to matches, allowing players to express themselves creatively. It helps Fortnite stay relevant in an ever-changing pop culture landscape. The Fortnite map now is a living, breathing tradition. It is not static, okay? It evolves alongside the game, reflecting ongoing storylines and adapting to player demands. From Tilted Towers' rise and fall, I know most of the OGs and most people listening to the podcast are always going to remember when it came tumbling down and there was nothing there, and to the 0 points destruction and the entire map flipping in Chapter 2, the ever-changing landscape keeps Fortnite fresh. This isn't just about aesthetics, okay? It's about gameplay dynamics, new terrains, biome shifts, and unique POIs fundamentally alter how matches are played, challenging players to adapt and innovate. The map has become an active character in Fortnite's lore, and its constant transformation keeps players invested. As Fortnite grows, Epic Games should maintain the tradition of evolving the map, but with an eye toward honoring past landmarks. Perhaps they could occasionally reintroduce legacy POIs. I think we're all a little tired of Pleasant Park right now, but, maybe some risky reels, or allow players to temporarily revisit old maps during special events. Now, Fortnite would not be Fortnite without its quirky humor and self-referential nods. The game thrives on creating, acknowledging, and amplifying memes born from its community. Whether it's the infamous default dance, the battle bus driver meme, or absurd moments like Peely becoming a smoothie, these traditions embody the fun, irreverent spirit of Fortnite culture. Even its storytelling has leaned into this tradition, with tongue-in-cheek characters like Agent Jones and Easter eggs referencing memes. The ongoing relationship between Fortnite and its community through its humor shows how Epic Games values us and the player's creativity. This tradition should endure as a cornerstone of Fortnite's identity. Future updates could further engage the community by directly incorporating fan-made memes, continuing to blur the line between developers and players. The vaulting now, this is like tradition so far already. The vaulting and unvaulting of weapons and items is one of Fortnite's most divisive yet beloved traditions. Whether it's the Infinity Blade's controversial introduction, the return of planes, please can we get some planes, or the community deciding which weapon gets unvaulted during live events, this mechanic has sparked countless debates, memes, and strategies. While frustrating at times, RIP pump shotgun, but you're coming back, the vaulting system keeps gameplay from becoming stale. It forces players to adapt, rediscover old favorites, and experiment with new tools. The unpredictability of what's vaulted or unvaulted every season generates excitement and keeps the meta fresh. To ensure this tradition continues in a very meaningful way, Epic could implement player-driven votes more frequently or introduce theme vault rotations to align with seasonal storylines. The key is balancing nostalgia with innovation while maintaining that signature Fortnite unpredictability. Now, why do these traditions matter? Okay, why do we have cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving? Why do some people love eating turkey on Thanksgiving, right? Why does somebody in the family always make their mac and cheese and bring it over? Okay. Traditions matter. At its core, Fortnite thrives on evolution, creativity, and community engagement. These traditions, seasonal live events, emotes and crossovers, map evolution, community memes, and the vaulting unvaulting mechanic encapsulate the spirit of Fortnite. They aren't just gameplay mechanics or features. They're cultural touchstones that unite players across seasons, chapters, and generations. As Fortnite looks towards the future, preserving these traditions will keep the game fresh while honoring its roots. They remind us why Fortnite isn't just a game. It's a shared experience, a cultural phenomenon, and above all, a tradition in itself. By leaning into these traditions, Epic can ensure that Fortnite remains not only relevant, but cherished by its players for years to come. Today, we're diving into a topic that every player knows, but no one really talks about: the unwritten rules and social dynamics of Fortnite. Whether you're grinding solos, building with sweaty hands in an arena match, or laughing your way through random squads, there are these invisible guidelines, rules of conduct that shape how we play, interact, and even think about the game. Let's be honest. Fortnite isn't just a game. It's a social experiment in real time. From those moments when you spare someone mid-match because they're just vibing, to that deep instinctual understanding of when to third party, it's all part of this wild ecosystem. And the best part? None of these rules are written down. They're just there. Today, we're going to break these down: the good, the bad, and the hilarious. Why do we instinctively know these rules? What happens when people break them? And how do they make Fortnite the unique cultural phenomenon it is? So grab your favorite skin, load up that victory crown, and let's dive in. Okay, let's start with what I like to call the golden rule of Fortnite: respect the fight. Now, what does that mean? It's this unspoken agreement that if two players are already duking it out, you don't dive in immediately. You wait for the right moment, the respectful moment, when they're both low on health or distracted. That's when you swoop in for the cleanup. But here's the catch. This rule is not universal. Sure, it's honorable to give people a fair fight, but in Fortnite, sorry fellas, honor and survival don't always mix. Sometimes it's just too tempting to third party. You see that one guy frantically popping a mini, the other dude is desperately building a wall or hiding in a bush, and you're just sitting there with a full clip of SMG ammo. How do you not jump in? Now, here's where it gets spicy. Some players take it personally when you third party. I've had people chase me across the entire map. Like, bro, you're not John Wick, bro. Let it go. But on the flip side, when you do respect the fight and wait your turn, there's this weird sense of mutual acknowledgement. You almost feel like you're playing chess, not Fortnite. Here's a great example, okay? I was playing solos one day. I spotted two players fighting near a gas station. Instead of diving in, I just chilled, I waited. And when the fight ended, I ran down, I finished off the winner. Before the last guy died, he actually probably had that GG emote ready to go, and he hit me with it. Respect earned. But let's be honest. Half the time, respecting the fight just gets you killed. You wait, someone else shows up, and suddenly you're the third party. It's a pretty vicious cycle. Next up, let's talk about toxicity and etiquette. Every Fortnite player knows this phrase. Don't be that guy. But who is that guy? Well, it depends. Maybe it's the dude spamming RPGs at the endgame, okay? Or the one who builds a 12-story tower just to finish you off with a pickaxe. Oh, and let's not forget the serial emoter. You know the type. The guy who dances on your loot pile like it's an award show VMAs. Here's where the debate, it gets a little interesting. Is it toxic? Or is it just part of the game, right? I think it depends on the context. If you just pulled off an insane snipe and hit a quick default dance, that's fine. You earned it. But if you're dancing on a guy who's clearly struggling to figure out how to build a ramp, maybe he's a bot, but then again, maybe, yeah, that's a little toxic. One of my favorite moments in Fortnite was when I got eliminated by a guy who emoted, but then he dropped all my loot and gave it to his teammate. Like, make up your mind. Are you toxic or are you generous? But let's also highlight the good side of etiquette. Ever dropped your teammate a medkit mid-fight? Or split your mats with a random player in squads? This has happened so many times. Those moments of generosity stick with you. They remind you that Fortnite isn't just about competition. It's about community. Building is Fortnite's bread and butter. But there's an unwritten hierarchy of skill that everyone understands. If you're a beginner, nobody expects much. But if you're rocking a sweaty skin like Aura or Focus, the expectations are high. Let's talk about panic builders. Everybody knows one. You know, the ones who get shot at and immediately spam walls in every single direction. It's chaotic. It's messy, and honestly, it's relatable. We've all been there, but as you improve, the game starts demanding more. Suddenly, it's not enough to just build. You need to edit, rotate, and trap your opponent in a box. And what's fascinating is how this hierarchy creates social pressure. If you screw up a simple 90 in front of your team, expect your team to roast you. But when you pull off an insane high ground retake, that right there is instant respect. This might be my favorite part of Fortnite. It is my personal best. As a matter of fact, when I'm done recording this podcast, I am going to get to this particular mode immediately. It's actually a way for me to actually promote my podcast and a way to actually meet new people. And my favorite part of Fortnite, once again, is random squads and duos. Playing with strangers is like opening a mystery box. You never know who you're going to get. And please, guys, it is 2024. Buy a mic, jump into the game chat so we could all talk. Okay, so first, there's the silent soloist. They ping, they loot, they fight, but they never say a word. Then there's the team leader. This guy acts like he's in a military simulation. He's barking orders at you. He's criticizing every move you make. And let's not forget the comedian. Their goal is not to win. It's to make you laugh so hard that you can't even focus. And the best part, sometimes these random dynamics actually work. I once played with a guy who was so funny, I didn't even care that we lost. It felt like hanging out with a friend. But let's not sugarcoat it. Random squads can also be a huge nightmare. Toxic players who steal your loot, rage quitters, and trolls are all a part of the package. It's a gamble every time you hit that fill button. Oh man, but even with the occasional bad apples, there's something magical about random squads. Every so often, you land with a group that just clicks. Communication flows, strategies align, and you're suddenly vibing with complete strangers like you've been playing together for years. Those are the moments that remind you why Fortnite is more than just a game. It's a social space. Let's not forget the accidental friendships that emerge. One time I queued into random squads and met someone who ended up being my duo partner for weeks. We carried each other through highs and lows, celebrated wins, and even exchanged memes outside of the game. Fortnite has a funny way of turning strangers into allies, and sometimes into real friends. And in my case, even listeners of the podcast. Now, we're going to shift gears to solos, the mode where you're truly on your own. But even in this every man for himself setting, there's an unspoken language, okay? For example, how many times have you seen two players rotating through the storm circle, only to instinctively know they're not going to engage each other? It's like a temporary ceasefire. You do you, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna be up in this little cabin over here getting some stuff. One of the funniest silent agreements is the dance of peace. I try this as often as I can. 9 times out of 10, it's not working. But imagine landing at a POI and locking eyes with another player. You both pull out an emote, nod, go your separate way. It's almost wholesome. And so one of you inevitably backstabs the other 5 minutes later. No hard feelings, right? And let's talk about storm etiquette. In solos, there's an unwritten rule. that you don't camp in the storm just to ambush someone rotating in. Sure, it's a strategy, but it's also a move that screams, I value your misery more than my own survival. And I do that very often. But when someone breaks these unspoken agreements, it sticks with you. You remember that one guy who broke the truce and eliminated you while you were emoting. It's not just a betrayal. It's personal. Custom lobbies are where the unwritten rules get even more complex. And this is the side of Fortnite where actually every once in a while I'll partake in. I try to stay away, honestly. But for example, in scrims or custom matches, there's often an expectation to avoid fighting into the third or fourth storm circle. Players who break this rule, griefers are universally hated. It's like showing up to a chess match and straight up just flipping the board. Now, we've all seen streamer-hosted lobbies have their own unique dynamics. If you're playing in a match hosted by a popular streamer, the pressure on is follow the rules or you will get banned. Don't stream snipe. Don't camp their reboot card. And for the love of Fortnite, don't emote on them if you get an elimination. Breaking these norms can get you roasted on stream and maybe even banned from future lobbies. Tournaments are another beast entirely. In competitive play, every move is scrutinized. Did you rotate early? Did you take an unnecessary fight? Players and viewers alike have strong opinions on what's considered smart versus greedy. It's fascinating to see how these unwritten rules evolve over time, shaped by the ever-changing meta. Speaking of the meta, let's talk about how updates and mechanics shape the way we interact in-game. Every time Fortnite introduces a new weapon, item, or mechanic, it shifts the social dynamics. My favorite weapon right now that has been vaulted for a reload that I found on the Oasis map is the shockwave hammer. So take the shockwave hammer, for example. When it was first introduced, it changed everything about rotations and engagements. Suddenly, players had to anticipate not just where the opponents were, but where they could launch themselves in a split second. The hammer didn't just change gameplay. It changed how players approached each other. Zero build mode is another great example. Without building, the social dynamics shifted to favor positioning and gunplay. Players who thrived out on outbuilding their opponents had to adapt, and new norms emerged around movement and cover. That's why I always carry a stack of bushes. What's fascinating is how quickly the community adapts to these changes. Within days of an update, new unwritten rules start to form. And then you want to know what the meta is. It's a testament to how dynamic and reactive the Fortnite community really is. Let's step back for a moment and ask a deeper question. Why do we follow these unwritten rules in the first place? After all, Fortnite is a game with no referees, no moderators, watching your every move. So why the hell do we care? The answer lies in human nature. We crave structure, even in chaotic environments. Unwritten rules give us a sense of order, a framework to navigate the madness of a 100-player battle royale. They help build trust, not just between players, but within the community as a whole. Following these norms also make the game more enjoyable. Imagine a Fortnite where everyone broke truces, third-partied relentlessly, and emoted after every kill. it would be pure chaos, and not in a good way. At the same time, these rules aren't perfect. They can limit creativity, forcing players into a rigid framework. But maybe that's the point. The unwritten rules aren't about restricting gameplay. They're about fostering respect and connection in a game that thrives on both. And there you have it. The unwritten rules and social dynamics of Fortnite. For you. From respecting the fight to the wild unpredictability of random squads, these invisible guidelines are what make the game so special. They're not just rules. They're the heartbeat of a community that's as diverse and dynamic as the game itself. So as you drop into your next match, take a moment, think about the silent agreements you follow or break. Are you the guy who respects the fight? Or the one who third parties without mercy? Do you honor truces or do you just backstab for loot? Either way, remember this. Fortnite isn't just a battle royale. It's a living, breathing social experiment. And you, my friend, are a part of it. Now, if you got your own stories about unwritten rules or crazy social dynamics in Fortnite, hit me up. I'd love to feature them in a future episode. Once again, this is Chris. Thanks for tuning in to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast. Until next time, keep your shields up, your emotes ready, and remember, it's all about how you see the game. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Hope everybody eats. Remember, don't spend too much time in the bathroom after you eat. Other people do have to use it. I'll be enjoying mine with my family. I'm actually cooking everything this year. I am making a mac and cheese from scratch. I am also making a shepherd pie and a 3-meat stuffing this year. In my stuffing, I usually use breakfast sausage, bacon, and lean ground beef, celery, onions, chicken broth, Jiffy, corn stuffing, cornbread stuffing. It's absolutely amazing. Hope everybody enjoys the Juice WRLD tribute. We have a lot to be thankful for. And I'll see everybody real soon.